Kia ora, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome back to the Final Cut. My name is Bailey.
My name is Taimania.
Yeah, and we're here to take you through this morning's pre-service.
Yeah.
We have two very special guests joining us on the couch who we're going to catch up with very, very soon. We're here to talk about the Radical Youth, which is relaunched here at HQ.
But before we even jump into a few questions with the boys, we're going to take a look at what the relaunch actually looked like.
Me and he saved you too. I took that L on a Friday, rise like Jesus, I made it through. Every day I thank God for the blessings, I never found no one like you. God told me that I gotta have faith, I asked for one and he gave me two. True. On Monday I made it, Tuesday I made it, Wednesday I made it, God. I was never good with patience, God told me that I gotta be patient. So what do I do when waiting? Don't fake it, I faith it. So what do I do when waiting? Don't fake it, I faith it. I remember back then it was black top gloves on a black top corner. I can tell if you're real or fake. Look in your eyes, can tell by your aura. I used to break laws, no order. But what happens when the party stops? You might be rich, but your heart is poorer. God told me that he saved my soul. Searching the world, can't be Dora. See, I stand on God and I stand on business. Put my life on the line and I carry that cross. Woo! God is my witness.
Yeah, nice.
Bridging the gap, spiritual litness. See, it's only God that did this. That's true. Learn.
Yeah, so you would have just seen, the relaunch for the Radical Youth. And as you can see, we have two young men here joining us today. They are two of the youth leaders for Radical. So before we jump into a few questions with them, we're going to get them to introduce themselves. Just for anybody who doesn't know who they are, we want to know your name, your age, and maybe what is your favorite color and why?
And why? Okay. Yeah, what's up everyone? My name is Caleb. I'm 19. Yeah, Radical Youth Leader. But my favorite color? Shucks. I don't really have a favorite color. I know black isn't a color, but it's probably that. It's because it's easy to style, I guess.
Yeah,
it's pretty much it.
Great answer.
What's up guys? My name is Mose and I'm 17. And also one of the Radical leaders for Radical. And I think for me, my favorite color would be white because it's opposite to him.
Yeah. So
it's bright, it's light, and
So if you didn't know, they're twins. No, they're brothers, and that's why black and white, because they just want to be not alike.
Yeah, exactly. But we are here to talk about the Radical Youth. We're going to get a little bit deep into this chat because our apostle, so recently he's put a call out to our youth. He wants to see them surrounding him. He wants to see them everywhere in the church.
Yeah.
Why now? Why is now the time to bring everything? Because he's been doing amazing things at West for a long time.
Yeah.
Why bring it back to HQ now?
Really, we have been doing some great things out West, but I guess what we've kind of noticed in the church is that the youth, I guess, have kind of not really fallen away, but they've been quite casual in their life with God. And we do notice that, Apostle does bring heavy revelation, and it's really powerful, understanding that we are firstborns with the resurrected Spirit of Christ within us. And it's really drilling that into our youth so they understand how powerful they are, because Apostle made the call. He said he wants the youth around him. But that's pretty much why we're back and why we're running with this.
Yeah.
No, very nice. And so if we're looking at, what you're talking about with the youth and what we've seen with the youth recently in the house, what do you think is, I would say, maybe one of our main problems for our youth in this day and age, maybe, coming up in the house? And what is something that you think Radical offers or does to help the youth with this problem?
Yeah. I think one of the, like Kayla was talking about, one of the issues that's happening right now is youth being complacent, being casual with turning up to church, I guess, and not really having their own personal relationship with God and Jesus. And we could say, living through their parents and going, driving and going off their parents' blessings and stuff and kind of living through that. But I think what Radical offers is it really offers you really gaining your own personal relationship with God.
Nice.
And where Apostle's heading, talking about firstborns, becoming a firstborn, finding identity in Radical. And I think that's the most important thing, because without identity, who are you?
Yeah.
like you don't know who you are, and I guess in this world that we're in now, you become lost.
Yeah.
And Radical offers identity. That's where you really find out who you are, and that you are, you are a firstborn. And
Yeah, I think just off of that, with us and the youth knowing that they're firstborns, like Radical also brings a place where youth can really come together and see that there's other youth that are like-minded in Christ with them.
Yeah.
And if firstborn youth are hanging out with firstborn youth, then really that will take us to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Because, Apostle said it, who you hang around is who you become. And if youth are hanging around each other, then, we'll really be able to go to the next level.
Yeah.
So what sort of programs does Radical offer like on the week? We've obviously seen what happens on a Friday, the youth get to have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But what happens on a Tuesday?
Do you want to?
Yeah. So on Tuesdays, we've been kind of doing it for a while. When we were out west, we kind of went through with, if you don't know Campbell Harvey, we went through the First One Ministries, which is has been really strong in our culture in Destiny Church. And you learn about baptism, you learn about salvation, you learn about repentance, you learn about all these things that, you may not catch on to on a normal day-to-day Sunday. And then I guess that's where you really understand your relationship with God and Jesus Christ. And so that's what we do. Now we're going to be doing on a Tuesday. And I think the most different thing about us running the First One Ministries is that it will be youth teaching youth.
Yeah.
Nice.
And people may, but the thing about that is that, when youth are teaching youth, they understand, and maybe it's easier to connect.
Exactly that.
So on Tuesdays we'll be doing the First One Ministries. Yeah, where you learn about baptism and topics.
Yeah, we're pretty much learning about what it is to be a firstborn and how a firstborn walks. And we know that's really our goal, is to get the youth to understand the identity in that. But that's pretty much on a Tuesday night.
Nice.
But on a Friday night, we saw it. It's fun. It's really where the youth can just hang out and really fellowship with one another and really create those connections, because really these are your brothers and sisters that you'll be going onto the battlefield with.
Really nice.
So why not get to know them and understand them? But it's really good. Friday fun.
Powerful, cool. Wow.
That's our voice.
Young men, and that is so wow, wise.
Yeah.
So we have relaunched Radical. So we're 5 months out until the end of the year. For you guys as a ministry, what do you think? Just one, or what's a goal that you want the youth to achieve by the end of the year? What what does that look like for you? What's the end goal?
Just one?
Sure,
10, that's all right.
your time to speak, man.
Yeah. I think for me, my number one goal, I think the youth that's coming in now, we got 50, maybe plus 50 youth. And I think maybe to the end of the year that I see all these 50 youth becoming leaders. And becoming youth leaders and being able to teach and I guess have a zeal for Christ,
Nice.
I think a goal that we're really looking for is we do want an influx of youth just to really come in that understand who they are. Because we do love quantity, but we really want them to understand the quality that they have. So if by the end of the year we have a whole lot of youth that carry what our apostle carries, that's really powerful, and I think we'll be really proud of that.
I mean, as a lot of parents will be watching this, as well as youth, how can parents sort of support, getting the youth there? Because obviously the youth getting there is cool, but they got to catch a ride somehow, and that's usually a parent, or it's a bus driver getting them. How can the parents support the Radical youth so that we can go to those new levels?
I think really the parents, I think you do need to push your youth or your children into coming to youth, because if you really understand this is where they're going to grow, and this is where they'll be able to develop their own spiritual relationship with Christ, and they won't be living off your faith, where really you want to connect them to our apostle, so you have to release them. So I think it's really good if you really push them into that space. But and also getting them there, get them rides, bring them to youth.
Do what you can, do what you can.
Pretty much.
Nice. And so for anyone youth or parents wanting to join their kids, how do they connect? Is there people that they can go see? Is there I don't know, social media they can connect to? What does that look like?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you can see us if you see us in church walking around. You got us three here. We've also got the Radical page, and I guess that's on Facebook, Instagram.
And what's the at?
Yeah, the Radical Youth NZ.
Yeah,
Radical Youth NZ.
nice.
Radical Youth NZ. Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess just flick a message, have a look. I'm pretty sure everything should be up on that page, and yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. And like, as someone like, I'm also a part of the radical leadership team to see these two grow and see them come up. I'm proud of you guys and to see you guys grow, and I'm looking forward to serving alongside you in the radical youth, because we're going to create some amazing things. We're going to be on an amazing journey this year, and we want you to be a part of the journey as well. So if you want to see what else we get up to, have a look at what we got up to this Friday. Just go.
The appropriate moment, but we're going to change the service a little bit. I'll preach after a little, but this morning it's very important that you understand what happened in France, in Paris yesterday. And if you don't, I don't know what you do. Hey, you may not want to watch TV or the news anymore, but what happened was the most despicable, disgusting, disgraceful, mocking and insult on the Christian faith ever. Right? It happened. Now, however you feel as a Christian, what level it is, to me, I took it personally. I sure did. And I'll be letting you know in a moment. But what happened on a stage, the world stage, billions of viewers worldwide, and I'm thankful for that. But I want to say, I've got to watch out, I don't be naughty. Right. But on a world stage with billions of people watching, parents would have got prepared in the morning to watch what has always been a great spectacle, and that is the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. So therefore, millions of children will be watching. Now, what we were presented with was nothing short than satanic sexual deviancy of the worst kind that poured through social media, online channels and social media platforms everywhere around the world. It went, guaranteeing you many children saw it. The content was worse than R18 stuff. The exposure of drag queens. Now you know what we're doing. You know why this church has been pulling down, shutting down drag queens and the transgender movement. It has just taken on a whole new perspective. I'm telling you, for whatever you think about what we're doing, we're right. This has gone global. Every news outlet yesterday in the world was, first of all, offended if you're a Christian, real ones. But there were a lot of people who said they weren't Christian, who said they were disgusted. All right? So you can see then by that. Have a seat for a moment so you can give 5 minutes rest. So what I want to do is say to you a few things. You remember at the conference I talked about firstborns. This is an interesting concept because we're the first country in the world in the southern hemisphere to get the first light or the dawn of a new day. Now, one of the things I did mention a bit about is David and Goliath. Everybody knows that story from chapter 17, and particularly where it says, verse 16, that this giant who is representing everything that's wrong, everything that's evil, everything that's opposed to your success, your progress in life, his name was called Goliath. You know all this. But the interesting, boy, you know, it's amazing how much more you can extract out of this story. I've preached from that thing almost, it seems like a million times, and I always get something fresh. But extracting out of this here again today was this particular verse in 1 Samuel 16. 16. For 40 days and 40 nights. How long is that? That's, what's 21, 40, 21, 30, well, it's a couple of months, and a month and a half. Month and a half. That's a long time. You take it from now, just sitting here in the church service, and how long that this guy came out, and it says morning and evening, and he literally bellowed and yelled, derided, belittled, insulted, right? Mocked God's people, and in that mocking God also, because he said, I come by my gods. He made it clear that he came particularly backed by false gods, every other god, every other religion, except for the one that's Jesus Christ. So that was the only one that was that day facing up. And he insulted them, remember? Now, David's response was incredible. There's just two parts, and then we'll get into this in a moment, because I'm going to do a decree this morning. What he said was, this guy was defying. That's the word used, two words here, defy. He defied the armies of God. Now, that's interesting. That's equivalent to this, to you today, the Church of Jesus Christ. He defied. What's that mean? Openly and unashamedly resisting and perverting what we would say is the obedience to Jesus Christ, that he is the one true God. Then the opposition does everything, whether it's noticed, loud and proud, or whether it's in secret, doesn't matter. They resist our God. One of the things that was on display at the French ceremony was a great big golden bull. Did you see its head? Plastered on the back. That golden bull represents an Exodus when Moses went up to have 40 days and 40 nights with God. This is interesting, isn't it? 40 days and 40 nights with God, that the people fell in and backslid. So it does say that when good leadership is away, or leadership is not present, or there isn't a leader, just a caregiver, the people will soon backslide. You know why we have backslidden churches? Because there ain't a Moses in the pulpit, a true leader. They're just pastors and a whole lot of other people. I'm sorry, some things have to be said pretty hard and open, because a lot of people don't know. So you're better to be slapped with the truth, be offended for a little while, but go away and think about it, right? But if you just have caregivers, it's easy for people to slip in and have a lukewarm Christianity. You know what I'm saying? A lukewarm faith. And that's what they did. Over time, they built an idol. It was a golden bull. And that golden bull in there represents backsliding or leaving God. It's about, turning your face away from Christ. That's what that bull was. It wasn't the only thing. They had another mechanical grey horse, wasn't it? Running around. That depicts out of Revelation death himself. But it was filled with queers, drag queens, transgender, men dressed as women with beards and penises out, a smurf who was naked, who had an erection, another one that was standing there with his exposed, with his balls, another one prancing around as a man with a beard, acting as a woman, gyrating up there as trans, showing off a whole perverse, wicked, sexual deviancy of unmeasured, unimaginable levels. You know what I'm saying? So they've got to this. It's only one person. You see, this is what the people are like. How long has Christianity been on the mocking end? Why did they mock Islam? Why did they mock Hinduism? Why did they mock Buddhism? Why did they openly mock secularism, New Zealand's favourite god? Or the god of Mammon, New Zealand's other favourite god, chasing money. Why do we mock you for a week? Why do we put on a display about mocking what most New Zealanders believe, which is no religion? But they think you can just up and mock me, mock us, mock my God, throw Jesus Christ out of Parliament. throw prayer out of schools. I've had a gutful. All right. So, what I want to do right now is to officialize this, and I would like you to stand, if you could please, with me for about 7 or 8 minutes. Come forward. I want you to clap if you like something. Don't just look at me. You like something, you give it. Clap your hands, all you people. Shout to God with a voice of triumph. So I want to say, well, you can stay in the middle. Come in the middle here. It's okay. Come up in the middle, if you could. Fill up the middle here from the sides. Come into the middle. Just move in. So there's, right there in front of me. Come all right in there, please. Yep, you don't have to all come up. Just slip right in, fill these gaps up in the front. Right in front here. Don't all run. just slip in. Slip in. It's not your chair, it doesn't matter. It's yours now. You're now part of the front room. Fill these right up in here in front of me. This is the best place to be, in front of me. Yep, keep moving right there. This side, quick. Gosh, I'm glad you guys are not in the army. You get a command, you got to move quick. Yeah, fill them up, look. Over here. Sorry, I just got to do it because I'm... Right, that's good. Come around me. Come around me, behind me, and stand there. I don't know what you do. You can't really smile through this. Okay. Well, the first thing I want to do today is that I'm here to publicly announce officially, I will declare a decree. My name is Apostle Brian Tamaki, and I'm Senior Minister. I'm the Senior Minister of the Destiny Churches in New Zealand and across Australia as well. Today is the day after. So most of the Northern Hemisphere is asleep, including Paris, France, where currently the Olympic Games are going on. So I'll say good morning to the Southern Hemisphere who are now awaking. I am, by the authority that God has invested in me as a senior minister of churches across New Zealand and Australia, we saw the despicable, disgusting, and disgraceful presentation that was called the ceremony opening of the Olympic Games in Paris, France, that displayed a satanic and sexually deviant presentation that caught most of the world unaware. Billions of people were viewing, including millions of children. Today I've taken a portion from Psalms where God himself said he will declare the decree about his son. Also in the book of Daniel, the word decree appears. A decree means it is a declaration that carries the authority of God, that has the ability to bless or to curse. However, that God seems fit to work through me and speak. I stand here representing today approximately 3.1 billion Christians across the globe who I would know would have been offended and disgusted in what we saw as the mocking and the insult that was put on, first of all, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, whom we believe and has saved literally billions of lives to a better way of living